Hey everyone, welcome back to Chocolate and Spice Talk. I am Nidhi, your extroverted host, and today we are dressed in traditional Indian clothes with sari, jewelry, the whole thing, because we are here to celebrate the festival of light, Diwali.
Hello, I'm Neha, the introverted sister, and I'm so excited to be celebrating this Diwali with Nidhi and everybody who's listening and watching. Diwali is typically celebrated towards the end of October in India, and this year it was on October, is it 22nd?
20th. 20th.
20th, yeah. So, what better way to celebrate this than with everyone on our talk show?
And in this episode, we are going to share a little bit about everything what Diwali means, how we celebrated growing up, and how we celebrate here in America, what we teach our kids, and even the things that we really miss about Diwali back home.
Right.
Since we are also dressed up, do you want to tell us what you're wearing?
Oh, me? Certainly. So, I am wearing this very, very beautiful sari, which is, if you remember, it's our mom's sari. And she's always so good with giving us some of her saris. And I really love the sari. It has a lot of very beautiful embroidery for those who are listening rather than watching. It's a very beautifully, I think it's called zari work, and a lot of embroidery work on that as well. And I wanted to show off all the work. So I just have Actually, this is a t-shirt. This is not a blouse. So typically with sari in India, folks wear a specific blouse, but I wanted to wear a t-shirt because I felt like this pink highlights the work. And yeah, and I have earrings, some really long earrings in kind of golden shade, just to match the golden shade of the sari, and that's it.
I love
How about
love
you?
your sari. That's a network, right? Jari, when you said
Oh,
that's like a
yes, yes, yes. It's
right?
very net. It's
Mhm.
kind of translucent, and it's extremely high effort, extremely beautiful work.
It's supposed to be handmade. It takes a lot of hours to make it. I know this was Ma's favorite sari that she gave it to you. I'm a little jealous right here. But she did buy this sari for me too. So this is the sari that she gave me when I got married. So that was like 14 years back. And I love it so much. I love this yellow color. So it's a beautiful, I can't even call it yellow. It's like a mustard color sari, which like golden borders, and it's absolutely stunning. And it came with a blouse, which was supposed to match the sari. But over the years, I've built some muscles, so that sari doesn't miss doesn't fit my arms anymore. So I bought this beautiful blouse from a local boutique here, and I'm wearing these beautiful, shiny loop earrings. And this was given to me, gifted to me by my very close friend Sona. I absolutely love it. I love her choice when it comes to jewelry. And this is just a tennis necklace. And these bangles, again, Ma gave it to me. It was
Oh,
beautiful.
very nice. It looks very beautiful.
So I have
So,
a question for you.
yeah.
Since you are the one who goes deep into a topic, and I think you are the perfect person to explain to our audience, what is Diwali? What is the significance of Diwali?
Yeah, certainly. So usually, again, for our listeners who are newer to our show, I tend to go very deep in topic and tend to do a lot of research. I didn't actually have to do a ton of research on Diwali because, at least to me, having grown up with Diwali, it feels very integral to me. Like it feels like it's almost a part of me. And I may not do justice to the full story of what Diwali is, but I can feel it. I can relive the moments the moment I say the word Diwali. So essentially, Diwali, it's also called Deepavali in some places in India. It essentially means like a row of lights. And this celebration went back, I think, thousands and thousands of years back. And different regions of India have different stories attached to that. So I won't go into the story itself, but what I can say is that at its core, it's about light conquering darkness. And so that's why the whole idea of light. So when I say it essentially means a row of lights, people actually light a lot of diyas. So diyas are kind of, I wouldn't call them candles. I don't know what else to call them, but there are specific kind of light that you use like a cotton thread and you put some oil in it and then you light it. I still remember the smell that would come out of it. It was very beautiful. And then the other thing is, people would also pray. So goddess of prosperity, Lakshmi, is supposed to visit our homes, and so everybody cleans their homes and everything is so well lit. So it's not just about decoration. It's really a lot about being joyous and meeting people and celebrating with good food, a lot of color, and wearing nice clothes. That's how I remember Diwali, and that's my understanding of Diwali.
So every year I go to Vikram's school.
Mhm.
Vikram is my 6 year old, and I've been doing it for the last couple of years. And close to Diwali, the week we have Diwali, I go in and I read a Diwali book to the kids, and I tell them a little bit about Diwali. And I also gift the class like some kind of a rangoli painting or some kind of a, diya, what you talked about, the lamp painting. And to them, the way I explain it to them is, again, remember, 5 or 6 year old kids. I tell them that, Diwali for us is what maybe it's Christmas or Hanukkah for you. So it is all about winning, light over darkness. So, and then I tell them we wear new clothes, and we bring the community together. We have, lights everywhere, and so on. And I try to tell them it's all about food and joy and bringing people together. So that's how, kids understand. And I think that is what connects every every person to Diwali. Like, how do they understand Diwali? So at the core, I think you said it absolutely. It's just the hope. The Diwali for me, it's all about hope, and taking care of all the darkness that's inside you, and kind of bringing the light from within.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to hear you do that for Vikram and in Vikram's school. How has the reaction been of the kids?
I mean, they love it. They're very excited. I always wear like an Indian,
Mm.
salwar kameez or Indian clothes, and I make sure Vikram also wears something Indian that day. So they are all so excited. Oh, Vikram's mom, what are you wearing? This is so pretty. So they get excited. Like, they're so visual. Like, they get excited about what I'm wearing. Half of them lose interest while I'm reading the book, but they're excited about coloring. So they understand. The concept of like coloring and making Diwali. So, I mean, all in all, I think they have a fun time. They get a new activity and they learn about something new. Teachers are very happy. So, it's always a joy.
Yeah. And then that's the thing with festival. It changes the humdrum of life, right?
Mhm.
It brings something new, and the more different it is, probably the more interest there is because you've never learned about it or seen it. Well, very exciting. Do you remember, by the way, how we celebrated Diwali back in India all the way back when we were kids?
I'm not going to lie to you. When we started preparing for this episode, I realized I've started forgetting a lot of details. I don't know, maybe because we have been away for so long, or maybe this is how time works. Like, you start forgetting things from your early childhood.
Yeah.
But I had to work really hard to remember what happened, like when I was 8 or 9 or 10 years old. But I have what I remember from that early days is Ma used to clean the house, whatever she could, with like two little kids. So she would tell us to declutter, but a lot of emphasis was towards sweets and food and cooking food. So I
I knew
remember
you'd remember that.
I'm an extrovert and a foodie. Like, what else do you expect from me? And people dropping your house like unannounced, and that was all allowed. And especially growing up in India, people would drop off unannounced all the time. But for Diwali, the doors would always be open. Like,
Yeah.
anybody would come in, come out. And we would make rangoli. I don't know if you remember, but I think Ma used to try her best. Our mother, she's not very artistic like me, so she would try her best to like make rangoli with colored powder. I remember that part, and we would participate in the clay thing that we have with like oil and light. So we would help. We would run around and just eat a lot of food, and that is what I remember. The smell, yeah, the smell of Diwali is something I remember. I was never a big fan of firecrackers because of the way it smell and the pollution. Even at that time, I could feel that this doesn't smell right or this doesn't feel right, and I was too scared of those loud noises. So I would be really happy with the sparkles and those low impact firecrackers.
Right, right. Actually, I remember it the same way. I couldn't have put it in any better way. It's the smell that I remembered the most, and just how open everything was. Anybody could visit anyone. To me, for reference, for those who don't know us, I am I'm the quiet one. So I was, even as a kid, I was very very quiet. I was way quieter actually as a kid, very introverted, absolutely not social. And I felt like Diwali was one of those festivals in India where you didn't have to be loud and hyper. You could be calm. For me, the reason I consider Diwali my favorite, most favorite festival of all festivals in India is because it allowed me to be myself and allowed me to be calm. I really like the part of decorating the house and lighting the diyas. It just gave me a sense of, grounding. And rangoli, I do remember making rangoli. So rangoli, for those who are not aware, is like colors, like different kind of colors. These are powder colors with which you can actually make beautiful designs. In India, people often make it outside the house. Sometimes they make it inside the house. Essentially, it's like decorating the floor of your house. So I do remember doing that a lot. And we used to have rice. Mummy used to actually prepare it at home, like mixed rice with little water and I think something else. And that was used to create the outline of the rangoli. And it was so beautiful. And then we used to dress up in whatever we wanted to dress up. So those were the highlights for me. Of course, there was good food, which is great, but you know me and my lack of fascination with food. So I don't particularly remember that part. In India, I feel like every festival you have great food, so that is beyond a doubt gonna happen. And for me, it's just the light, the fact that everywhere I still remember you look at any house and everybody has these beautiful twinkling lights. And at night, and also by the way, I think I forgot to mention, Diwali is typically celebrated towards the evening, so it would be dark outside, and then in every house you'd see light, and that's just so magical. So yeah, it was magical.
Yeah, it was.
And right. And how about now? Like you and I've been in America for over 21 years, and you've been for over 15 years, I think. What do you do here, Diwali?
At first, when I came here, I don't know, 14, 15 years back, I felt really lonely. Like, as an extroverted person who had celebrated Diwali with extended families, so many people, it was just me and my husband. And you don't know anybody when you come to a new country, and I had to start everything from scratch. I remember the first 2 years were so hard for me. I uh, i wore Indian outfit. I lit diyas outside the house, the candles outside the house. I couldn't even find diya at that time. I was so new because I couldn't find an Indian store, so I just got candles from the local grocery store. I lit them. I made some Indian food. But people have a seasonal depression. I think during those festival, I had that kind of a depression because
Mm.
I had this feeling of fear of missing out. I don't know if that was missing out or just feeling that, oh my God, my whole family is celebrating back in India, and look at what I'm doing. And for context, my husband is also not very social, so he doesn't get, like, for you, I know there is few aspect of this you like, and he's such a private person, he's fine, and I was not fine. And at that time, we were not on the same wavelength. It's like, I need to find like minded people who want to celebrate Diwali with me. Anyway, I sulked for 2 years. And then I was like, I cannot carry on like this. I have to figure out what to do during these festivals because, they make me happy, and I have to find joy. Then I did start going to the business school in Pittsburgh. So we used to have a lot of celebrations there. So that kind of gave me an idea. It's like, it doesn't have to be this lonely. I can make my own thing. I didn't have Vikram at that time for the first 6 years when we were married. So I had to just figure out what to do with my husband and I, and maybe build a community. Then I started inviting people over, and I started having gatherings and so on. And after Vikram came along, and it was a totally different story. Now I just do a lot of things with intention, and make sure he understands the meaning of Diwali, and he is included in all the activities that I do. He understands it's a big part of the culture, and how we chose to bring few parts of Diwali and culture with us, and we left behind things that we didn't like, right?
Mm.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to him. Like, as long as he's young, he has to obviously follow what we follow, but eventually he'll grow out of it. Like, I think you will be able to speak a lot about your son who's 19. So, but right now, I want him to get that exposure, what Diwali means. what Diwali is for me, how we dress. And that's why we put so much effort. I put so much effort in like dressing up, wearing a sari. And he's like, this is weird, Ma. It's like, it's not weird. This is a sari. This is how I dress up. But yeah, so this is what I'm doing right now. But what about you?
Yeah, for me, as expected, the experience was very different because, like I said, for me, Diwali was a lot of Diwali was a time for a lot of internalization and channeling the calmness. And so I didn't miss the fact that is when I first came to the US. I didn't miss the fact that I didn't have a lot of people around me who understood Diwali or celebrated Diwali because I could do it by myself and be happy. And my husband also enjoyed celebrating it. So we both would pretty much dress in traditional outfit. Like I'd wear a sari and my husband would wear a kurta. And we'd like, again, to your point, decorate the house, light diyas, and do other rituals that we typically do in Diwali, cook some fancy food. I'm not a big foodie, but my husband is. So at least for him, I do that. And then we had my kid Aryan, our kid Aryan, pretty early on, and especially when you have a kid, you want to do more and you want to really bring that joy to them. So I start putting a lot more intention and attention to how we celebrate. And yeah, the first few years of when my kid was young, we used to do a lot. In fact, I do remember that we also used to go to friends' house. The other thing when you have a kid is you tend to make more friends with
Mhm.
like-minded parents, and so we'd get invited and we'd go and we'd dress up, and automatically my son would learn more about Diwali. So he used to pretty much enjoy it. It was a cause for yet another celebration or eating good food. Um, and then again, like you kind of hinted, as he started growing, getting into teens, he was not that interested. And, even though he understands the concept of Diwali and he understands it's a joyous festival and there is celebration involved, it's not necessarily something he wants to automatically do. So if he's around, obviously he's in college now, so he's typically not around at home in Diwali. So I don't actually see what he's doing. But if he were around, he would participate, but it would not come naturally to him. So I do feel like, unlike you and I, he didn't see that celebration being done all across town or in every home, and so he missed seeing the fact that it's a big community effort. So I do wonder if I did not do enough. Like you are doing a lot, like you're going to Vikram school and you're organizing parties. I was very content in myself, and my husband is also very content in how we celebrated at home, and we're just very happy and calm. So I never had that thing which you had, like the first few years, missing anybody out or missing the celebration. I was celebrating, but then now I think, like, if I had had a big party or if I went out more, perhaps my son would have also enjoyed it more. So both sides of the coin, I guess.
No, I mean, I think I was listening to another podcast which was on the same topic you're
Right.
talking about. Like, uh, some people are just content the way you are. At that time in your life, it was so busy. You had Aryan so early on. You were just content. You were in a kind of a survival mode. You were doing what you had,
Yeah.
and that's your personality. It's like I, for kids, I don't think we should sacrifice our personality, our well-being for our kids. I don't think that is good parenting. I mean, we do the best we can, but we just don't be like a different person for them. We have to retain that individuality, and then they will learn and grow. It's not like he didn't know about Diwali in school. I mean, it was a very diverse school. So yeah, they pick up. I mean, I do it because, that's just my
That's,
personality. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I just find so much joy in like hosting events and having people over. And and he's not like me.
yeah. Mm,
He's really not like me. I mean, he participate, and this year also we are having a Diwali. I'm hosting a Diwali party, and I'm mostly doing it so that he understands that Diwali is about gathering, community. But and he's excited because I'm calling some of his friends. So that's the good part. But he's a private person like you. I think that's what his personality is like, and he kind of tells me over the weekend, all right, one day if you're doing that on Saturday, Mama, make sure you don't do anything on Sunday. And I'm like, oh, Sunday we're going to go to pumpkin patch. And you're like, no, no, please don't make any plans for me on Sunday. Just let it be a free day. So yeah, I mean, I try. For me, it's exposure. Like for me, it's very important for him to understand the essence of Diwali because he has never seen Diwali in India, and I don't know if he will ever. He doesn't understand the scale of Diwali, but I do want him to understand what it means. For example, I'll give you an example of how I'm explaining the essence of Diwali to my son. It's one of the big part that you said about Diwali is cleaning and decluttering, right? And my husband, being a perfectionist and being really into cleaning, he is really helping him clean out the toys, the clothes, everything that's not needed. So,
Not needed. Come on.
that's half of the house that is going to get thrown out. But so this is the way of showing that our goddess Lakshmi, who is our god of wealth and prosperity, she visits house those are clean and well prepared. So that is what I'm passing on. It's like you can obviously clean your house throughout the year, but this gives you like a small timeline that let's hustle and let's get it done. And so it's not just like a religious belief, but it's also like a symbolic act. So a clean mind, less clutter makes room for more energy and gives us excuse to start fresh. And the same thing about diyas is like diya represents hope. And again, you also said it already that the goddess Lakshmi, she visits house which is well lit, and that's a concept of having diyas outside the house. Like that's what I told some of the kids in Vikram's house. They say like, "Why do you light diya?" And I'm like, the goddess is flying all over, and she has to spot the houses that she has to go to. So the houses that are well lit and have candles, she's going to stop by. But I mean, I'm saying
Yeah.
saying it jokingly, but that's the concept, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
And I love it. And so what you're saying is, Vikram, my nephew, is very much like me. So first of all, kudos to him. Uh, and also the fact that while he enjoys Diwali, he's found something in Diwali that he identifies with. So I do know that he likes to clean like his dad,
Mhm.
and he's very much into that, and he really believes it. So that is an association he'll probably continue with,
Mhm.
even though he might like once he grows up, right? We're not going to be around all the time. And he has to celebrate Diwali by himself. Like, what is he associating Diwali with? If he does that, there's something for him to hang on to and bring joy to his life. And again, I feel festivals are a way of just bringing a change in our life. Our lives, whether we like it or not, can become very tedious in their sameness. And whenever we have a celebration, we break that tediousness in a way, and then we do something. And festivals like these, like Diwali, are so different. You're going to remember it the rest of the year. And we also recently had the Shera and Navratri. It's a 9 days festival, and it's beautiful. We do so much. And on the 10th day, we conclude and we wish each other. There's so much happening. There's so much excitement that's built around it. So yeah, I'm so glad like Vikram does that. And the same for my son as well. It's, when I wish him, he'll wish me back. And he knows what Diwali is for, so it's not like he's clueless. And who knows, as he grows up, he's gonna potentially want to do something beyond that, which is exciting for him.
yeah, so that's the thing about exposure. Like once he grows older, he'll have his own family. He
Yeah.
will choose to take what he likes, or he'll build his own new tradition, and that's the beauty. And like we are not very religious. Like my husband and I, we don't do long pujas like our parents did. Uh, but we do believe in higher power. So you can say we are
Yeah.
more spiritual. So when we pray to God, we do have a little temple at our house, and so we do pray, especially during these festival. And for Vikram, we are trying to explain to him that we pray for health, love, forgiveness, happiness. And so that's what I want him to take. It's isn't just a ritual, it's more like gratitude and connection. And so yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with Vikram. I'm helping him see all the parts of it, whether it's like diya, rangoli. He likes decluttering, cleaning, and he's also attached to rangoli. Being a perfectionist like his papa, he likes to make rangoli, and he if something goes out, in that like
Oh, I
coloring when he colors it, and he's
can
like, "Oh,
imagine.
is she going to stop by?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry." He's talking to goddess Lakshmi. He's like, "You think did I mess up? Is she going to like notice?" Like, nah, she's not gonna notice. Don't worry.
It's so funny. Yeah.
He
And
said.
that's what we want. I mean, that's what we did. We're not celebrating Diwali exactly the way we've seen our parents celebrate. And it may not even have to do with the fact that we're in a different country. Even if we were in India, the odds that we would have done exactly the things that they did are pretty slim because, we've grown up with our own beliefs and very much our own personalities. And our mom, for example, is very, very social, just like you. So she would do a lot. She would cook so much. I remember she'd invite people over. She'd be so excited the whole day. And I just don't do that. You do that. So we all have
Yeah.
very different ways of doing it. And also, I suddenly remembered, like for Aryan, my son, initially when I'd wear sari and all, he wouldn't get the point of it. But now he takes it for granted. He's like, "Hey, you didn't wear sari. Where's your Indian outfit?" So he gets it. He gets like the association of certain things with whatever the occasion is, and that's a win.
That's a win. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
win. I mean, I don't think he's agreed to wear Indian clothes right now. Now that he's a teenager, right? I mean, he's not here during festival right now anyway.
yeah. I mean, if I guess if I were to, for men in India, it's very easy. Wear a kurta, call it a day. I don't think it's particularly hard, so I think he'd wear it. For women. But you know what? I've seen everyone here when I do get invited to houses, everybody, including the younger girls, they all are dressed in Indian outfit, and it is just very beautiful because you miss seeing that here typically and on a
And
day-to-day
I
basis.
think this is something new, or maybe I don't know. Maybe now I'm paying more attention
Mm.
that people are just embracing it. The whole Indian outfit, going out, being proud of it. And that's what I think we want our kids also to be proud of. Like when I wear sari, I don't want him to say it's weird. I want
Hmm.
it to be natural. I want to be like, no, I mean, it's not like I wear the sari every day, but you've seen Nana, Dadi, like grandparents wear it in clothes, and you've seen me wear it. And I have bought like so many books for him about Diwali, about in culture, so he understands. So I want him to have that acceptance and never be ashamed of it and
Yeah,
be proud
absolutely.
about it. And that's the whole thing about exposure and throwing events. He'll do what he wants to do. Like once he gets older, he'll have his own life. But right now, if there's any core memories that I can build for him or help him understand the significance, I'll do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah. Another story that I just remembered was there was this event that we were all invited to, and it was also an Indian. It was an Indian festival, and I got lazy and I just wore a simple salwar kurta and I went, and everybody else was fully decked in sari and beautiful lehengas, and my son was like, "You're so lame. What? Look what you look what you're wearing. Look what everyone else is wearing." I'm like, okay. So he kind of expected me to be really well dressed in proper Indian
You
outfit.
know, Ma also called you out and never told you. You had sent the picture in that our family chat,
Yeah,
and she said, "Oh," and I'll say this in English, and she said it in Hindi, and she said, "Oh, Neha should have worn something else, something brighter. You were a white kurta or something that day, right? She should have wore something brighter or put more jewelry." And I'm thinking, Ma, she had a full day of work, and obviously I didn't say anything, but I,
yeah,
I know, I know how you feel. It's a lot of effort,
it's
right?
effort.
To,
Yeah,
to do all of it.
but
Yeah.
today's effort was worth it. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
I
know your
really.
sari is so beautiful, my God. And this t-shirt, it doesn't look like a t-shirt. It
Mm,
looks like a blouse, and it's a beautiful sari. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
it's very gorgeous, and so is yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like it was great chatting about Diwali and just reminiscing how we celebrated Diwali and what we do now to enjoy Diwali. And
Anything you really miss before we end? Anything you really miss about Diwali back home? We talked about like a lot of it, but is anything in particular that you miss about Diwali?
um, interestingly, I do. One is definitely the smell. So you cannot get that smell
Hmm.
with just diya in one house, right? In your own house.
I
The
see.
whole atmosphere getting fragrant was quite a unique experience. And also the diyas that you get these days are not traditional. I think mommy used to have some traditional oil put in that. I don't know what she used to make it that fragrant. So I do miss that. And then just the fact that the way I remember Diwali was anybody was invited, anybody could come into your house, and you could go to anybody's house. If you remember, like you and I would walk to somebody's house and we'd eat a sweet and then we'd walk to somebody else's house.
Yeah, I know.
That's not, that is not, something you can repeat here. And that's probably the only thing I actually do miss. It's just like that was, like we were talking in our Halloween episode, right? The reason I like Halloween is because that is one occasion where I can go to somebody's house and just say hi, even if you never talked to them before. That's how I thought of Diwali. Typically, I was a shy kid who wouldn't talk to a lot of people, but on Diwali, you could just go anywhere, and if people would say hi, and you'd say namaste or pranam, and you'd get sweets, and it's harder here. So,
Yeah, I know. And this coming from an introvert, that's a big thing, right? I mean, you would usually be in your own shell, but
yeah.
during Diwali or festivals, you were like, all right, this is, it's fine to be myself and maybe step out of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah, and if you remember, we were very conscious in when we were kids of, not we didn't make those decisions, but our parents would buy us clothes on specific occasions, and Diwali was one of those occasions where we got new clothes. So that was so interesting because you and I would be hyped up about Diwali because come evening and we change out of our regular clothes and wear those fancy clothes. And I still remember the excitement that would be built up, and then you and I would compare like who's looking better, got a better
I
outfit.
would get a special salwar kameez and all of that stitched for
Yeah.
Diwali. Like when we started getting older, like when we were teen years, she would get like really nice salwar kameez. Yeah, I miss a lot of things, but I do miss Rangoli, and this is more of like a little bit later in my life. When I was in Bombay, when I was getting my doing my education there, and I was living with Chara Chachi for a little bit, and there was this lady who would start making rangoli in the apartment complex, like outside, from morning 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Wow.
And she would make like a huge rangoli. Like she would take water breaks, but she would finish it by 6. And one day I just asked her, like, "Oh, this is so much work." And she said, for me, this is meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation is not just sitting and just being quiet. For me, this is calming my mind. So whenever I think of Diwali, I also think of that lady and the beautiful rangoli that she made, and how I was so young at that time. I was like, I don't know, 19, 20, but that was a moment that is itched in my mind, because the way she talked about meditation is like, meditation can mean different things to different people. Like it's not just sitting on a couch and sitting on a like cushion and meditating. For me, it's just the colors, my hands like flowing through the colors and making something so beautiful. But yeah, that's something I remember and miss, because I'm not very artistic, so I have to use those stamp things to
Mm.
make rangoli. But
But
yeah.
that, I think, like you can take that lesson from, I mean, that lady, amazing, such wise words. But also, you can do that. Like, I don't think that lady wanted to impress upon anyone her skills. I'm sure she did a beautiful job, but I'm sure that was not the goal. These days, we are so into, oh, we're gonna make something nice and people will comment, or we'll take a photo and post on social media. You don't have to. So, you don't have to bring the stamp ones. You can still use your hand, and Vikram will be none the wiser. Anything you make, he'll think it's
Yeah,
incredible.
he always like, Mama, it's gorgeous. That's a new word he has heard. But
No.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so nice just, going back in time and thinking about all of this.
Yeah.
A lot of things we miss. But yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of myself that I have built new traditions that are mine, and just building new rituals with my family, and just doing my bit. Like if have holding an event or throwing a party makes me happy, I'll just do it. It's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah. And I'm very, very proud that you do that as well, because I feel like that's how, one, you enjoy, but also it's a great way to bring community together, and we all need that. And any reason, any occasion is great for that. So I'm so glad you get to do it. Well,
Yeah, I mean, about community, just one last comment on it. I just was reading a book in which they talked about everybody is now missing being a part of community, because it's such a hustle life and everybody's, busy. But everybody wants to be a part of community, but nobody wants to make an effort to build the community. And
yeah.
I think we talked about it with Preeti Didi in a community episode too. It's like somebody has to do something about it. Like if you invite people for dinner, you just have to make that effort and make sure the people who are coming are like-minded people who understand the effort that goes into it and
Mhm.
do the bit. So that's how community is built. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like what the event that I'm trying to host, it's not easy. It obviously requires time, effort, money, but thankfully I have a circle of people who appreciate it, who will make an effort, who will come in, enjoy the most, build memories, and this might be just a regular thing that we start doing. So yeah, I mean, this is basically what I was trying to say, is like if anybody is thinking of doing something, it is a lot of work, whether you do it for a festival or you do it for holidays, but that's how you get started. Like
Yeah.
there is like a lack of community, I feel nowadays, lack of connection. And I think we can do it by just taking an action. Maybe just have like two people over. It doesn't have to be like a huge group, but it keeps the connection alive.
100%. You build memories, you connect again, you talk with, like, you break your cycle of work and home and cooking and work and home. So yeah, I mean, as we wrap up, I just am getting emotional about how we used to celebrate Diwali, and also how, to your point, we figured out our own ways of celebrating Diwali, and it's just a very, very special festival for all of us.
And happy Diwali to everybody. And may your homes be filled with light, your hearts with joy, and your lives with peace and prosperity. That's all we wish for you.
Yep. And like always, you'll find this episode anywhere you get your podcasts. There is more on our website, chocolateandspicetalk.com. And we'd love for you to interact with us, leave us a message, share your thoughts, and tell us how you're celebrating Diwali. We always love to hear from you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
next time.